Are we supposed to start the podcast?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to IHIP News, our YouTube exclusive content. We've cranked out 3 of these videos, and then one of our commenters said, would you please distinguish this content from the other content so that they know it's not a highlight from a podcast episode. So what we've done is we've created a little segment called IHIP News. And IHIP, of course, stands for I've Had It Podcast. And we are not journalists, although we play them on IHIP News.
And our news focuses on the good stuff you won't get on regular news, the
That's
juicy
right.
stuff.
That's right. Our correspondents, Cha-Cha and Tubbers, are with us here today in studio. And let's get straight to the news. Pumps, as you know, there is a woman named Kate Cox who became pregnant in the great state of Texas.
Yes. And I have followed that story very closely, and it is absolutely appalling.
She had major complications with her pregnancy, so she gets a court order for a medical exemption to have an abortion. And the court says that she can. And then some fuckface named Ken Paxton, he's the attorney general, files an emergency petition asking the Supreme Court of Texas to overturn this decision. And they do.
Immediately.
So during this time, Kate Cox's condition is deteriorating and she's in and out of the emergency room. She eventually has to travel out of state for medical care because she cannot receive it in the state of Texas.
Yes, it's absolutely appalling. The trial court was so compassionate and said it is inhumane and justice is not served if we let someone who wants to be a parent lose that ability because we will not give her an abortion for a child to be born that will not live more than hours or days. And Ken Paxton immediately, when she comes out with that ruling, says this will not insulate doctors, hospitals, and any medical provider that helps her to obtain an abortion. He said that day.
He's a dick.
He's a total dick. With
a total teeny-weeny dick.
Teeny-weeny dick, and he's got a wonky eye.
Crazy eye.
Let's call him Crazy Eye Paxton.
Crazy Eye Paxton. But here's where I want to shift things. Because when I think of Texas, I think of Senator Cancun.
Absolutely.
Senator Ted Cruz from Canada.
The Canadian kid.
That's right. The Canadian kid. Senator Canada kid. Senator Cancun. So he's been asked about this quite a bit. And he keeps tuck and rolling.
Yes, because he's a coward.
So he's been asked, and the Midas Touch has this video of him running saying, ask my office, ask my office. Well, I was wondering, what is he so busy doing?
Right.
He's unable to comment on his state denying health care to a woman who desperately needs it. And he's this big constitutionalist. It's my understanding that in the Constitution, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, counselor, that we have a right to privacy.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, so let me show you what Senator Cancun has been up to. Seth, roll the tape.
Take them back and throw the lunatics out.
I mean, what? Five, six, seven, 8. Jazz hands. 5, 6, 7, 8.
God bless Turning Points.
The only thing I agree with that whole thing about, crazy.
Crazy train.
Crazy train and the crazy. And it's perfectly placed.
The irony is lost on all of them, how they just self-owned when they introduced Senator Cancun and they play Crazy Train as he comes out. But here's the thing. Turning Point is like, it's like the youth MAGA organization. Right. How fucking dorky are these kids that they have that introduction for this fucking moron.
Right.
And they're all standing up, clapping and cheering for him as though David Beckham just walked out.
Right. They probably don't know the difference. That's how insulated from reality they are.
I mean, look at him. Could you imagine thinking, oh, the rock star
Ted Cruz is here.
has arrived? I mean, what a fucking douchebag. So he's been really busy at the Turning Point talking, saying a bunch of fucking crazy shit.
Bunch of crazy shit. I watched it.
But here's my favorite highlight of this speech. Seth?
Left is so bad. They're so unhappy. They're so pissed off. And by the way, if you were a liberal woman and you had to sleep with those weenies, you'd be pissed too.
How big of a pussy do you have to be to use the word weenie, when you're trying to be a big, bad, tough guy? Senator Fuckface Cancun could not even deliver it at all.
No, and here's the deal, too. I take one look at that man and think he could not find a G-spot with directions, both hands, and a flashlight.
No.
So he has no fucking business talking about how liberal men can't satisfy their women. Not to mention, he's the angriest, biggest beta male I've ever seen in my life with the weenie this big.
He's a total beta male. He could not find a clitoris ever.
Ever.
You know his wife, Heidi, hates fucking him. You know she hates it because he is unfuckable. He's not fuck worthy.
No.
He is awful. Okay. But here is what's most important. If Senator Cancun wants to parade around and do all this nonsense with the Gestapo, I mean, the Turning Point USA.
Right.
If this is what he wants to do, that's fine. We're going to talk about some other things that he does in his spare time. And this is a great time to remind everybody that on September 11th of 2017, the verified Twitter account of Senator Fuckface Cancun, he liked a porn tweet at 1 a.m. and the name of the porno was Dick for Two. As you can see here, this is his, he says, father of two at Heidi Cruz's husband. And then he's up trolling porn. So
Dick for two.
Dick for two. You know, you would think that somebody like this would be so outraged at pornography, right?
Outraged.
He claims, he never denies that he liked it when the reporters ask him directly. He simply says that it is a staffing issue and he makes light of it. But it's even important to dig deeper to what Senator Cancun was up to in 2007. He waged a war on masturbation. Senator Cancun at the time was Texas Solicitor General, and he was involved in a case that banned the use of sex toys in the state of Texas.
No, he didn't.
Here's a direct quote from Senator Cancun. There is no substantive due process right to stimulate one's genitals for non-medical purposes unrelated to procreation or outside of an interpersonal relationship. End quote. Supreme Court ended up overturning this. But here's my thing. What do you do when you watch porn, Ted?
You masturbate. That's like why it's there.
Okay. So if he and his state want to be all up in Kate Cox's business of her medical appointment, I want to know where Senator Cancun's semen is when he liked this porn tweet. I want to know where it is. We know what you're into now. It's apparently dicks for two.
Dicks for two.
And so, and here's the deal, Senator Cancun. I don't take issue if you want to watch porn. That's your business. You have a right to privacy. But if you're going to be a chicken shit coward when it comes to standing up for women in your state that need a medical procedure and you think it's your business, then this is my fucking business.
Absolutely.
And this always, he wants to bury this whole thing. And he's blamed some intern, but guess what? The intern never came out because everybody knows who did it. And it was Heidi's husband.
It was. It was.
Because you know what? Heidi probably won't fuck him.
Right. And he probably has to use 55 different masturbation tools.
So here's the thing. Either Ted was whacking off watching this,
Right.
or somebody in his staff was whacking off watching this. But to give a dismissive press conference and kind of smirking, it was a staffing issue. If you're against masturbation, then I want to see the fire and brimstone about this.
Where's the outrage?
I want to see an internal investigation.
Right.
I want to see whoever liked this drug. If you're so against masturbation and you think everybody's private life should be public, because apparently that's what Senator Cancun believes.
Obviously, he thinks everyone's private life in every aspect. Why is he so obsessed with sex? Makes me wonder if he's got a sexual...
Because he doesn't have any. Nobody will fuck him.
No, because he is
As
unfuckable.
evidenced by the Crazy Train video that came out.
Yeah.
There is nothing on the planet that is a bigger buzzkill than that ridiculous display of trying to impersonate being an alpha male fuckable guy.
Right.
That was, I don't know if I'm going to be able to have sex for the rest of the month after watching that. That's how traumatizing that was.
What a turnoff.
And maybe Turning Point USA is trying to get people to not have sex, so they're trotting that out. That would make more sense to me as to why
Right.
they think this guy is a rock star.
They roll him out to prove that purity culture should maintain itself.
And I just want to conclude, I could go on and on,
On and on and on.
as could Pumps, about Senator Cancun and what a buffoon and how unfuckable this guy is.
Yeah.
But I just want to leave it with this. His college roommate says that Senator Cancun has been pathetic since 1988.
Which is no surprise because he is the one thing that unifies Democrats and Republicans. And that's that they all can't stand him.
That's right.
His friends don't like him, i.e., when he skirted off to Cancun, the people he invited to go with him sent those text messages to the New York Times.
Yep, they sure did. So as we ended, the roommate has said he has been pathetic since 1988.
So this is no
All
surprise.
we're doing is just piling on to how fucking pathetic this man is. We'd like to thank you for joining us on this
you.
special edition of IHIP News, and we will be back whenever we feel like it.
That's right.